everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Holly and I over here have a sewing and fashion channel, and today's video I wanted to share with you my recent make, and I talk about it in my last video I think, when I talk about what I'm going to be planning on making over the next few weeks, and it is my lovely pink dress here. I've put this over on my Instagram quite a lot and I've made a few reels, so if you want to see me wearing it, head over there, or I will insert the videos, the quick, sort of minute videos of me making this and all the reels that I've made using this dress. So I'll put them in now. That was me in my dress dancing around in my bedroom. Now I made this dress for, I'm going on my honeymoon in a couple of weeks time, and I just wanted a really fancy nice dress to wear one of the evenings when we're out having dinner. And this is it. The fabric, let's talk about the fabric. The fabric it's from my stash. I've had this for a good few years now. I got it maybe my second year of uni when I was studying, and it is this beautiful pink silk fabric, which I've now discovered is silk because I washed it and the shine went a little bit, which was very annoying, but it still looks beautiful, but it's just not as soft. It now feels a bit more like a silk crepe fabric. It was completely my fault, but it is Victoria Beckham fabric, so I should have known the quality is going to be really good and it's not meant for the washing machine. Anyway, I've learnt my lesson. So it's this pink fabric which I got for about £8 a metre at uni, so it was such a good buy. It was a steal, and I've had it in my stash for, say, a couple of years, and I've just been waiting for the right dress to use it for, and I thought finally I have found the pattern that this fabric would be perfect for. I had about 2 meters, 2.5 meters, so I knew it had to be a full length gown. That's what I wanted to make with it, so I just find the right style and pattern that I could make that type of dress with only 2.5 meters of fabric, and this is her. I've made this pattern a few times now. I've made it 3 times, all in different type of fabric, so it looks slightly different, and I've slightly adjusted where the necktie is to give it a bit of difference as well. So let's talk about how it's constructed. It's constructed of one main piece on the front and one piece on the back, so that's the main part of the dress, so really easy make. And how I did it was I basically laid out the whole width of the fabric on the floor, and then I cut out the armholes on each edge of the fabric and then just used that width that it was, again to make sure I can use all the fabric up and it wasn't going to be left over, and it's worked out really economically. So I cut this out. So I did the same for the front and the back, which is 2 lengths of fabric. I will put in also a video of how I basically tested the length, because I had, as I said, only 2 meters of this. I had to basically just fold this fabric in half and cut on the half line, and that was how long the dress was going to be. But before I cut into it, I basically put on the floor and laid completely flat on the fabric to make sure it was going to be the right length and it wasn't going to be too long. I'll just quickly insert that bit of footage of me testing that theory out, which actually worked. It wasn't the most technical way of testing the length, but it did work. It did work. Right, so I say that was the front, and the back is exactly the same as well. And for up here for the necktie, it is a piece of fabric, long piece. It's, well, not long completely, it's not one piece. It is one piece that is the whole neck piece that runs around here, which is shaped so it sits really flat around the neck. On reflection, I think I should have fused this neck piece, just because the fabric is so light and delicate. It might have added a little bit more, you know, strength and stability to the fabric, but it still works. But if I was going to make it again in this fabric, I would think about fusing it or interfacing it. So this bit runs all the way around the neckline completely here, and to obviously here I have made a rolled casing. So basically I've just rolled it a few times down here, stitched along, and then I've put the neck piece through the casing, and that's that. And then on this one I decided to have the big, I wanted the big dramatic bow on the side of the neck here, so when it was worn, you can either, it will be moving, you can have it like that, so you got one edge of the bow and one edge of the bow down here. So yeah, so that's what I wanted, and let me untie this. So then I attached, oh dear, oh dear. So the stitching of the neck section ends here, and then I added this long bagged out tie with a nice pointed edge onto that section. If I had more fabric, I could have probably made it out of one piece of fabric, the whole neck and the bow, but as I said, I was a little bit tight on fabric, so I didn't. So that's that. Now for the hemming, sorry, my top. For the hemming and seams on this dress, it's got two seams down the side seams here, which ends here in quite a high thigh split. I love a thigh split, and especially as this dress is very floaty, it's got lots of fabric to it and movement, it just adds to that movement having a thigh slit. So here, my favourite type of seam to do on any fabric, and now especially on silk, is a French seam, which basically completely, I'll turn it inside out here so hopefully you can see, it completely encloses the seam and raw edges, and it looks lovely. Over on my blog I have a tutorial on how to do a really successfully nice French seam, so I'll leave that linked below if you want to check that out and learn about how to do that. Now I was planning on, because this is obviously a raw edge down here because this is the edge of the fabric, to pin hem this side seam. However, this was really good. This fabric salvage, you literally cannot see. It's completely exactly the same as the main fabric, so I just left it basically. I didn't want to sew it if I didn't need to sew it, because this is so delicate and light fabric, and it has got a slight stretch in it, so it could easily stretch if you pulled it too hard and that sort of thing. So it's very, you have to be delicately working with it. So I thought, if I don't need to edge this edge side seam with any type of hem, I wasn't going to, and yeah, so that worked out really well. Now for the hem, I obviously did have to hem it, and for this I used a pin hem, which is a really delicately small hem. Again, I've got a tutorial over on my blog on how to do a pin hem. Well, through uni, this is basically all the type of garments I made. Lots of dresses in crepe, silks, light flowy fabrics, so, and a lot of it needed pin hemming, so I mastered a pin hem really well. But yeah, pin hem is the best type of hem really to use on a silk, a light flowy type of fabric, because it encloses the seam, the raw edge really well, and it goes really thin, really delicate. So always learn how to do a pin hem if you're going to do any sewing like this. Yeah, so I did a pin hem along the bottom of the hem. So yeah, that is the dress. Oh, inside, because this section here, this armhole, was going to be cut on the bias, well, roughly on the cross grain, it is really susceptible to stretching if you wanted to just hem this. Now, I didn't want to do that. One, because I didn't want to stretch it, and two, I didn't want any type of stitching line visible along here. So I inserted a really, maybe I can't see, let me turn it inside out and then you'll be able to see the inside of the dress. So let's do that. Now, so we got it inside out. So here you can see the inside of the neck casing with the stitching and the folded over casing. And then on the armholes, you might be able to see better, hopefully that angle's good. I created a small facing that runs along the armhole section here. So it's about 5, maybe 5, 6, 7 centimetres facing along here. Now this is to stitch on the armholes to give some type of structure and just help that armhole so it doesn't stretch, those sort of things, and it's a way of not having to hem that section. So yes, on reflection I probably should have interfaced or fused this facing as well. If I was going to be wearing this dress a lot, you know, I'm not going to be wearing this dress every day, it's more like a special event occasion type of dress. So I'm not going to be wearing it a ton and it'd be okay, but if I was going to wear it every day, then it probably would get a little bit more stretched and this would need to have been fused. But yeah, for the edge of this facing, I created some bias binding and just bound the raw edge to enclose that raw edge with the same fabric there, which I think looks really nice in the inside. It's nice and neat and professional looking. Again, I've got a tutorial over on my blog about how to sew and make your own bias binding if you need to learn that skill. I've got it linked below. So yeah, so I've got a facing on the front and also on the back as well. So yeah, so that is how I made my dress. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed seeing the construction and learning a bit of how I worked and made this pink dress. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I have lots and lots of videos like this talking through my makes and my summer wardrobe, and some tutorials and tips videos coming up as well. So yes, yeah, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.